Okay, so we did our energy exchange where we found that the energy we would most benefit from letting go of from 2025 was the energy of terror, and that the energy we wanted to call in its place was confidence. This means a lot to me. I know for me, for many of us, 2025 has been a really terrorizing year. Big, massive changes on a huge structural level here, at least in the United States, and I know in a lot of other places too, where every single day a law was changing, this was changing, here's this new executive order, here's this new thing happening, AI is coming to get you, the data centers are going to use up all of our water, climate change is still, knocking at all of our doors. How are you doing financially? Oh my word, well, you better be buying stock. No, you better be buying crypto because cash won't matter anymore. Oh my word, just all of the things. And then if you look at the end of 2025 as the end of the first quarter of this century, holy shit, yeah, that's true. Think about the first quarter of the century. Think about from 2000 until 2025, all of the terror we have all experienced these last 25 years. Feels like there's been nothing but things thrown at us, especially since 2001 until now. And so we are releasing that. We're saying we believe that 2026 can be a new year. We believe that 2026 can be a fresh start. I don't care what you practice. I know we're talking calendar year here, a calendar year that was developed thousands of years ago that is probably half a bubble off. And it's whatever. Again, I'm not going to get into time right now, but let's just say today is the end of 2025. We're entering into 2026. We're entering into the second quarter of this century. We're entering into the second quarter of this century, and Spirit, the charts are telling us, let's have some confidence. Let's let go of the terror. Because what happens when we let go of the terror, we're a lot harder to control. Terror is a controlling energy. When we are confident, we are less likely to be swayed. We are less likely to be manipulated. We are less likely to be influenced by, external factors because we have this internal confidence. So that's what we're going to look at right now. We're going to say, and this is what's going to be interesting is we already know the root of the terror, right? There's all these external factors. But let's just say right now, what can we do to help clear that terror? And I always started out by saying, Spirit and the collective and I are one. We work together as a team. It's you, me, the collective consciousness here together, communicating to one another, slightly above the space of ego, slightly above the space of the conscious mind, right? We're down here together in like this juicy place. I like to think of it as like, my guts are open to your guts, or my crown is open to your crown. We're not here in this conscious mind necessarily. We got to keep her active because she helps us interpret the information. But really, this is on a soul to soul, gut to gut, heart to heart, third eye to third eye, crown to crown sort of moment here. So we're just going to say, what can we do to help us clear out this energy of terror? We know that it needs cleared. We want to let it go. We're like, great. First quarter of the century is over. Done. Let it go. All that terror that's been building up for 25 years, let's let it go. But how do we do that? How do we get some support? How do we get some help from our guides, from our higher self, from again, the versions of us that exist in the future that already know how this all turns out? How do we get help from them to make this happen a little bit easier, to assist us in this clearing? So we're going to go to chart 10A, which is what my pendulum told me we needed to do next. Our belief of beliefs. So we're clearing any belief that we have that says that terror is the only way in which we can operate. That terror is our birthright, that terror is our future, that terror is the only possible path ahead. We're clearing the belief of the belief that this is just the way that it is. And my body wanted to take an exhale. Does your body want to take an exhale right now? Let that go. And you can say out loud to yourself, I release myself from the belief that bad is the only future, that terror is my birthright, that terror is the future. I release myself from any belief that says that things just have to go wrong, that things are going to be bad and painful and awful. Okay. let's see how that feels after that, right? Now what can we do? What else can we do to support us? Now that we've cleared out some icky, outdated beliefs, which we understand why they developed, right? I mean, those powers that be, they really want us to think that everything is horrible. They really want us to think that everything is only bad. Imbalance of the etheric body. So our etheric body, this beautiful little body, energetic body right outside of our physical form, she's a little imbalanced. She's had a hard time. She's been struggling. She's like, excuse me? Do you not feel the energy all around us all the time being really freaking terrorizing? And for her, for our energetic body, for our etheric body, you know, I can only, yeah, I mean, it's, okay, I can only imagine. Yeah, no, I can imagine because I have one, right? It's hard. It's hard to feel good, positive things on the inside, but then your etheric body is picking up on all this crap from the outside. She's like, no, I feel the terror. It's real. This is not a joke. This is not just an outdated belief. This is real. There's something here that is unhealthy, that feels unsafe. And so we're just calling her back into balance and saying, thank you. Thank you for feeling that. Thank you for doing what you need to do to keep me safe, for keeping me on high alert, for helping me to touch that energetic world and know what it is that I'm feeling. And it's okay to calm. It's okay to settle. It's okay to let those energies go. You've allowed those energies to accumulate, right? And so our etheric body is just out of whack. She's had to absorb, she's had to protect, she's had to shield us from all of this ick. And now she's suffering a little bit. And I think this is a beautiful time of year to quiet down, to turn off the news, to turn off the noise, to give her a chance to calm, to give her a chance to rest, to give her a chance to breathe, to give her a chance to, you know, get a much better lay of the land and be like, okay, yes, I did experience all of those terrible, terrorizing things. That's been real. And there's also a realness about this very present moment where I am safe. I am calm. There is no terror. There is no tiger, you know, preying on me, out to get me. There is no, you know, predator at my back. Right here in this very moment, I am safe. And I don't have to worry about tomorrow. I don't have to worry about what I've been through in the past 25 years. But we just let our etheric body know, first of all, thank you. Thank you for everything you've done. And it's okay to be at peace right now. It's okay to be confident that you're all right. So we're just saying these words out loud for all of our etheric bodies right now. And your job right now is to just energetically listen and be like, yeah, okay. I can let it go. I can relax. I can take it easy. Okay, so now is there anything else we can do to help us root out and get rid of this terror? I'm seeing no. So now we're going to ask, what percent are we blocked to our confidence? What percent are we blocked to our confidence? 100%. 100% blocked to confidence. And what percent are we open to having our confidence? We're open, right? And again, if you've seen my videos before, openness is like your heart's open to it, but there's this external block, you know, keeping you from your confidence. And I could tell you exactly what that external block is. That external block is all the shit happening out there in the world, telling you that you are unsafe, telling you that you're not going to be okay, telling you that everything is horrible, telling you that this is a bad, bad world you're living inside of. You're not okay. Nothing is fine. The next bomb is going to drop. The next, you know, stock market crash is coming. All these things. And listen, I'm not trying to say you should deny reality. That might very well be what's going on in our reality. But the fact of the matter is, holding on to the terror, holding on to the negative feelings that are brought up when those things occur, or when the threat of those things occurring is happening, that doesn't benefit you. That doesn't help you. It doesn't help you make good choices. It doesn't help keep you safe. Not really. Not really. I can honestly say that for as educated as I have made myself about the world, for as educated as I've tried to make myself about the stock market or politics or whatever, knowing it all doesn't change anything. It hasn't made me more safe. You know, maybe it can be helpful to, you know, guide your decision makings when you are making some financial choices. Absolutely. But overall, just absorbing and allowing the terror to influence you in that way is not helpful. So here we go. We're just going to say, what's the block and how do we clear it out of our way? What's the block? Well, we go to chart 8B. Well, that's the first one I flipped to. This is called Other Archetypes Programmed Before Creation, before we even got here. And on the outside of this is the 12 disciples are listed here on this chart. And the gentleman who put together spiritual response technique, which is the Dowsing method that I'm using right now, he was both a pastor and a psychologist. So there's a flavor of Christianity in spiritual response technique, but you don't have to be literal about it. You don't have to be hung up on that. My teacher did a wonderful job in helping us understand that it's the symbolism, it is the energy of, it is the beautiful parts of the Christian Bible, the Christian message that you can take from this and use here. And so freedom is what just came up. So the freedom is represented by in SRT by Thaddeus, the disciple. And so I'm just going to ask, what percent are we open to freedom? 100%. What percent are we blocked to freedom? Also there. So our block to freedom is what is blocking us to our confidence. We aren't feeling confident because we are blocked to our freedom. Freedom of mind is what I'm hearing right now. Freedom of heart. And I resonate with this so hard because lately I've been realizing, like, when I find myself feeling joy or compassion or happiness or optimism, there is a dark voice inside my head that's like, girl, don't get excited. This world is a horrible place. It's all going to crash and burn. Why are you even excited about the future? Why are you even planning for what your business is going to look like 2 years from now? There is no 2 years from now. Yeah, no, I have those thoughts too. So, you know, and that is a lack of freedom. When we can't have our true heart's like excitement and joy and optimism because our mind is shutting it down, there's no freedom there. You're not having free will. You're not having the freedom to explore your own feelings, your own desires, your own excitement, your own joy, your own energy, because those thoughts are like a prison. They are like a prison. They're like chains. They're like walls that hold you in and say, no, you are not allowed to fantasize. You're not allowed to imagine abundance. You're not allowed to imagine all the good things that can happen. No, life is horrible. Life is terrorizing. Life is hard. Don't allow yourself to dream. Don't allow yourself to feel good. Don't allow yourself to imagine the positive things that may happen. This is so funny because I'm a watercolor artist as well. And I have hundreds of them that I created during a period in my life where it was all about just like processing emotions that I had stuffed down for 30 years. And the one that really hit me recently, I was going through trying to archive them and put them in things to keep them safe. And one of the ones that really hit me was there's a painting that I made of a woman looking at a man saying, you know, how often did you allow yourself to imagine the good things that could happen? And he responds, never. And that to me was representative of relationships that I've had where I knew that I was in a relationship with somebody who was not even allowing themselves to think about the good things that could occur. They were just obsessed with thinking about all the ways in that it was going to go wrong, all the ways in which it was, you know, bad or stifling or whatever. And so it's interesting that this is coming up right now, which is like, we all need the freedom to imagine the best case scenario as well. And that's what's blocking us to our confidence. We have not given ourselves the freedom to imagine the best possible scenario. All we're doing is listening to the worst case scenario and believing that that's what's going to happen. So we're releasing ourselves from that now and we're opening ourselves up to freedom. And you know what? If we want to call in Thaddeus right now and be like, hey, Thaddeus, brother, help us out here. Hey, Thaddeus, please stand up right now as one of my guides and one of my high self committee members and show me what true freedom is like. Show me what mental and emotional freedom from this terror really feels like. And you can call upon that. And it doesn't mean you're now some woo-woo weirdo. It just means you're acknowledging that there have been those that have come before you that have wisdom and guidance that you could benefit from. And maybe you don't have the time to study every part of the Bible that talks about Thaddeus and the messages that he has to carry here. But what you can say instead is like, download me with that. Download my consciousness, download my part of the collective consciousness, that part of me that is still connected to Thaddeus, because my collective consciousness is a part of Thaddeus's collective consciousness. Download me with that, download me with that truth, with that knowledge, with that wisdom. And so you can ask for that anytime you want. And you can, you can call upon any guide. It doesn't have to be Thaddeus. If you don't want to call in a disciple, I don't blame you. I haven't called in a disciple outside of SRT in a really long time. But call upon your grandmother. That was a really wise figure who was optimistic and who could see the bright side in things. Call upon that person you've known in your life who somehow was always able to keep on the rose-colored glasses. Call upon them. That's what you can do and say, I embody that right now. Whose energy do I want to embody moving into 2026? If my energy is a little off and I'm really struggling to maintain my positivity, whose energy can I call upon? There is nothing wrong with calling upon guides. There's nothing wrong or silly or stupid or weird. It's the same way you would read a book and take whoever, take Ram Dass, take Brene Brown, I don't care who you are, take this author and say, I'm going to read their book so that I can embody the wisdom that they share in this book. Why is that any different than saying, I'm going to call upon the spirit and the energy of this guide, of my grandmother? I don't necessarily have a book that she wrote to read, but I'm still going to call upon her wisdom. I'm going to open myself up to her wisdom and her knowledge. And again, I'm using grandma as an example, but it can be anybody. It can be anybody in your personal life, anybody who's passed on, anybody in any capacity, somebody that you admire from the past, somebody that you really look up to. Call upon their energy and embody their energy. Okay, so now what percent are we open to our freedom? 100%. What percent are we blocked to our freedom? 0%. Did you see that move? I did not do that. That was not me. That was just the energy of all of you moving through my arm and saying, no, we're not blocked any longer. Because up here was my 100%. And down here is my 0%. We're no longer blocked to our freedom. So now we'll check in on confidence. What percent are we open to our confidence? Still 100%. Now what percent are we blocked to our confidence? Okay, so we're at like 40. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like 40 right here. So now we're like 40% blocked. We're going to look at that final block. What can we do to get rid of that final 40% block to our confidence? It's so interesting that this is coming up 8A or 8B again. So funny. It's like sometimes I'm all over the place with charts, and sometimes it's the same thing. Self-limitation. Self-limitation is blocking us to our confidence. Again, that's exactly as I told you before. It's me laying in bed last night, thinking about how excited I am, think about what my career can look like in 2026, and then the evil little voice in my head going, what are you talking about? Everything is going to be horrible. Everything is going to fall apart. Nothing is going to go good. What do you mean? How dare you? How embarrassing for you that you're getting excited right now. I had those voices in my head. How embarrassing for you, Kate. How embarrassing. It's going to be embarrassing. You're going to be embarrassed when you look back in June and your life is a damn mess. No, but really, though, and I know those thoughts aren't mine. I know those are not like my thoughts that originated from me. Those are thoughts that have come in from the outside, that have seeped in through the collective, that have seeped in through media, that have seeped in through, all the crap I've exposed myself to. Because I know that my true thoughts really are excitement about my career, really are excitement about my business, really are excitement about connecting with more of you and being able to share this work with more people. And so when those icky voices come in, it is unsettling. I'm not gonna lie. It's really freaking unsettling. But that's when it's on us to clear and release them. So that's what I did last night, right? I just said release statements for myself. I was like, I release myself from all of these icky, evil thoughts that are coming in that aren't mine. And I close off the entryway where those thoughts are coming from. So you can take a deep breath out. You can say, I release myself from all patterns of self-limitation that I have operated in this or any lifetime. I release myself to true freedom and true confidence now. Again, I release myself from all self-limitation that I have operated inside of in this lifetime and any lifetime. And I open myself up to true freedom and true confidence now. It works. It works. It just does. It might not work in an immediate like 1 hour period, but I guarantee when you wake up in the morning, if you say these things, you're gonna feel a little bit better. Okay, guarantee. I can't control your life. I can't guarantee, but I'm so certain. I'm so certain. Interesting. So cast out of heaven is what just came up, and this chart is called fall of consciousness. So fall of consciousness, we were up here, right? We're in heaven, and this battle between, you know, Satan and his third of the angels that went down with him, and came back onto this planet and had their little life that we've all had since then. Again, this is the story. I'm not saying that this is quote unquote reality or the only reality, but this is a version of the story, right? This is a version of what happened with consciousness. And so to me, anytime that comes up, it's like guilt and shame. Guilt and shame are blocking us from having confidence in ourselves. We are still feeling like we are bad. We are still feeling like we are sinners. We're still feeling like we don't deserve to have confidence and success. We feel like we deserve terror. We feel like we fell from heaven, we fell from God's grace, we fell from the protections of his glory, and now we deserve to have the terrible, terrorizing experience that we are on this planet. And we're just saying, Spirit, clear that now. We release us from this guilt and this shame that was developed at the point of the fall of consciousness, at the point of the Garden of Eden. Wow, my pendulum did not want to stop spinning on that one. She's just like, let's clear that energy big time. I know anytime she's just like spinning a lot, there's a lot there that needs cleared. So we're just applying I have a book called the Spiritual Healing Book, and we're just applying all the healing energies from that book here now, because I don't have it and I'm not going to go climb around to look for it. So now what percent are we open to our confidence? What percent are we open to our confidence? 100%. Now what percent we block to our confidence? 0%. So we cleared it out of the way. Again, that's my 0. And now we just finished by finding some new replacement energies. We say we're doing 100% of 100% of mop up, and what are our replacement energies today, the new ones we're going to carry forward with us the rest of this day and maybe even into 2026. Thoughtfulness, health, joy, thoughtfulness, health, and joy. And then she goes up the center line, which means she's done. Thoughtfulness, health, and joy. We wish these things for you in 2026. May you find a way to unblock yourself to your joy, to your health, to your thoughtfulness, to your confidence, and to your happy, positive thoughts that will help you develop the 2026 that will be best for you in your highest good, uninfluenced by the icky external factors of this world. All right, everybody. Thanks for being here. As always, thanks for watching. You can find me at www.thepointedstone.com. Reach out if you'd like to book a one-to-one session. Find out a little bit more about what I do. All right, all. I will see you next time on another episode of Clearing with Kate.